Hello guys, my name is Thanda Xaba I. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I'm a homeschool mama with 5 kids. I share content about home education, motherhood, Christ, and everything I'm passionate about basically. And I do hope that you will enjoy your stay here. I am a homeschooling mama with 5 kids, but I'm also working as a civil engineer. And it can be so demanding at times, and it's very demanding. But I do want to continue doing this. I do want to continue pursuing my career and also homeschooling my kids. So this year I found something so great that works for our family so far, and that is teaching textbooks. On this video I'll be doing a review. It's actually our mid-year review because we're still like mid-year here in South Africa. So it's a mid-year review of their curriculum. I will do probably another review at the end of the year, and basically when we'll be looking at how everything went. Before I continue, I do want to say that this video is not sponsored by Teaching Textbooks. Even though teaching textbooks, it would be great if you'll sponsor. You can email me. My email address is down below. So yeah, teaching textbooks, you can sponsor this, you can sponsor me, but this one is not sponsored by Teaching Textbooks. Okay guys, let's get started. In my opinion, what is teaching textbook? Teaching textbooks, they are a math curriculum that is online. So your child can do the lessons on the computer or on the mobile device. And it's so convenient. It's convenient when you have a lot of kids, in a sense that you know that your child will get to do the work even if you are not there yourself. Some people use it as the only math curriculum, and some people, they use it like to supplement whatever math curriculum that they are using for that year. Teaching textbooks only starts at level 3, so that is grade 3. And unfortunately, if your child is still doing like grade 1, 2 or pre-K, they can't use it. I get a lot of questions from my daughter who is doing grade 1, like why can't she do it? She also want to do it. And yeah, I can't explain why. I can't explain why. It's just that the curriculum starts at grade 3. So my older kids are doing it. My twins, I have 5 kids. My twins who are 7 years old, turning 8 this year, they are doing grade 3. So they are doing teaching textbooks for the first time. And my other daughter is doing grade 1. She just turned 6 not so long ago, so she's doing grade 1. That's why she can't do the teaching textbooks with her older sisters. Teaching textbook, you do have to pay for it. I can't remember how much I paid in rent. I will look for their price somewhere. I'm sure I can find it, and then I'm gonna write it here. But I think what's safe is to go to their website and get the latest whatever price list that they have in there. So you do pay for the curriculum, and it's a yearly subscription, so they give you 1 full year for that. Like right now, I said my kids are doing level 3, so they will have a whole year to do it. And then if maybe next year we continue to level 4, then I will need to buy or need to pay for another yearly subscription. Okay. Is it worth it? I think so. I think it is worth it. Even if you have another curriculum, math curriculum that you're using, I think it's still worth it. I don't feel like I wasted my money at all. My kids are learning, and they can learn on their own, which is great. Now let's get to the good stuff. How are we using it as a twin family? It's so much fun. The way we used to do it was whenever the other child wants to do maths, then they will do it. But I found it to be much easier when I get my 2 kids, my twins, to sit down they don't okay, the way we do it, we don't listen to the video first. So we'll open, there's like I'll put pictures, screenshots of what I'm talking about. There's like a section which is like a textbook. So we open that section. My kids know they can operate this on their own by now. They will open that section which is like a textbook, and they will read through the book. So it's not just going in there and just listening to the computer and just clicking the answers. No, we're not doing it like that. They will read through the book. So they will read the content. So it's an individual work. So they will be quiet. So they'll be quietly reading the instructions, and then they'll scroll down until they get to a section where they need to practice. And then they will also practice in the book, like in their workbook. They have a workbook, like a hardcover book. So they will write in their lesson 1, and this is what they were talking about, and then they will write their answers to the questions that they have for that day or that they're practicing. So I do make my kids to write their answers first. So they will do it individually. They will write their answers, twin A and twin B. They'll write their answers, and then when they are done, only then they switch to the video, where it will start by explaining what they were reading. So now they'll be watching this together. So they will explain what they were reading, and then they also, it's basically like having one lesson twice, you know. So just to make sure if you didn't understand something, then they get to talk. That's when they talk, like, oh, okay, Randy, this is what's happening. Oh, wait, so that's what's happening, you know. So they get to understand the lesson. And also, when it comes to the questions now, because you have to click on the computer, you have to select your answer. So they will get to, let's say, question 1, and then it's asking them for this, and then maybe twin A said the answer is this, and twin B said this, and then, you know, for whatever reasons that they have, and then they will then put their answer in the computer. So it's not like they just listen and then they just put the answer in the computer. It's the answers that they already have on a piece of paper, and then they will be putting them in the computer. So that's how we're making it work, and I love that. I love that they get to work independently, but also they get to work as a team. And it does not become a child and just a screen. It becomes so interactive. And when I am with them, we could just go through the textbook. They go through the textbook, and then I'll be asking them questions and then checking if they understand what they're doing, and then we can go through whatever that they're not understanding together. And then we come to the video parts where it's more like a game. It's so much fun because you're just clicking and it says, hey, hooray, and they have a number of things in there. So that becomes so much fun for the kids, and becomes very interactive. The approach that they use, it's spiral approach. They use a spiral approach. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the spiral and the mastery approach. The spiral approach, it's when you teach a child something, and then you keep on reviewing what you've taught them in the previous lessons. And then a mastery approach, it's when you focus on one thing and you're focusing on that thing until we are done, then you move on to another thing that you're focusing on. So this one uses a spiral approach, which is working so well with the current curriculum that my twins are using this year. So it's something that they are used to doing something, and then they revise, and then they keep on asking them questions about something that they've learned in the previous lessons. So I think I like it that way right now for the setup that we have right now. And a spiral approach can be great if you're planning to send your kids back to school. Maybe you don't know, maybe next year you want to send them back to school, because they get to do a little bit of everything, whereas in a mastery approach you master a certain concept. So if you do want to send your kids to school, you can still use a mastery approach, but you just need to look at it in a very broad manner and see which concepts are covered in which grades or in which levels, and then just make sure that your child has covered all those concepts before you can send them to school, or else they'll go to school and then they'll be talking about long division and your child will like, what are you talking about? It's not because they're not smart, but it's something maybe that they have not done yet. But when they're talking about maybe subtraction, you find that they're so good at that. So those are the pros and cons of the spur and the mastery approach, and it's really up to you as a family to decide how you want to do it, and it depends on your long term. Okay, don't ask me what happened. I live in South Africa. We have something amazing called load shedding, where our service provider just cuts our electricity for certain hours. Story for another day. But let's finish off the video right now. Okay, another reason why we love the teaching textbook curriculum is that they grade the child's work. So after your child is done with each lesson, they grade them there and there. And they can even show them where they went wrong, so they will see and learn from their mistakes. That is amazing. Also, they send the results to the parent, so they send to your email address. So even if you're not home, you can see how much your child got that day, and if you want, then you can just go back when you get home and see where they got things wrong and can explain that further to your child.